good morning. I have several things that I am intended to be doing right now, but I have been thinking about this all day yesterday and all day today. I mean, it's only 11 o'clock right now, but I thought about it all morning, so I did it this morning, and then I was like, oh, I want to share this with other people too. And then I thought of doing it this way, but then something else came up and was like, oh wait, hold on, you have to finish this other thing first right now. And I wasn't intending to do that right now. I was going to just do this right now, but alas, I need to do this other thing right now, which is finish a painting, because painting is one of my side things that I do. But I want to share some of my journal entries with you, so I'm going to try to do both of those things at the same time, which, in my opinion, is kind of hilarious. And so me, I am such a Capricorn, it's just in my blood to be this way. Try to be as productive as possible, even if I don't want to be, which is also kind of hilarious. So, the background noise that you hear is me both setting up to do a painting and currently doing a painting. And also you can hear my guinea pig in the background getting water out of her water bottle. Thank you for asking. So we're going to pause for just a moment while I'm setting up to do this section of the painting that I'm trying to finish. And I will tell you what brought me to this point. I had seen a TikTok, and I, of course, got sucked into the story. And I listened until probably about 7 or 8 p.m. last night. It was like 12, almost 12 straight hours of listening. Oh, I'm sorry. This creator is not a woman. They use they, them pronouns. I profusely apologize. Let me back up. Hopefully I can cut out that last part. Moving forward, I will be using the they, them pronouns for this creator that I'm speaking about. They have a series reading their mother's journals after their mother passed away. It's been many years since their mother passed away. And I got hooked and sucked into them reading the journals from their mother, and also them reading out loud journals that their mother and father had left for them as an adult that were written to them as a baby. It's crazy. The whole situation is whoa. But it reminded me that I have journals from over my lifetime. Not as a young child, but I've since tossed all of those. But in my adulthood, I have kept most of the journals that I have written in probably since I turned 20 or 21, I want to say. I'm 27 right now. And I have hidden away most of the earlier ones, but I have some of the recent ones out. And I knew exactly where it was. I went to go get this one that I'm reading from this morning. It was started in, let's see, the first page is August 8th, 2022, so 2 years ago. I'm going to read the first page out loud to you, and then the most recent entry is from today. I just wrote it an hour ago. I'm going to read that one out to you as well, just to show some contrast. The first one is quite short, and the second one is quite long. When I first started this journal, I was using 2 different colored ink pens to kind of talk to myself, have a conversation with myself. In the journal, to try to, I'll address this in the other entry from today about how I am performative in the way that I do things. It's expecting other people to see the things that I create for myself, and doing it a certain way I don't know why. My brain just is like that for some reason. It doesn't really make sense to me. I've just kind of accepted it. But I do point that out later in the entry from today. So this first entry has like one perspective that's written in black ink in the actual journal that is like my bad, sad feelings, things that I am upset about. And then it has underneath pink entries that are like positive reinforcements afterwards to like make it not seem so bad. Like the little positive notes that your teacher would put on your papers when grading, like good job or nice spelling, anything like that. Like that's what it feels like to me now, because it's like why couldn't you just talk about the bad feelings? Why did you have to positively reinforce it? You don't have to do that, actually. And that's what I go on to say in the second entry. So I just wanted to give a little backstory on that. And it's going to be hard to paint while also doing this, so I'm going to pause painting for a moment and then we're going to read. Without further ado, here's the first entry. August 8th, 2022. I'm a lost person. I don't know who I am or who I want to be. I desperately want to find out, so hopefully I can do that here. I feel like I don't know where I'm going, even though I was given directions and showed the path. Kind of just aimlessly wandering in a direction. I don't know how to fix that or how to figure out what to do. I seek out guidance, but how can you guide something that has no real direction? How does one fix this problem? I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but it doesn't feel right. Nothing feels right. How do I find out what does? Do I just have to keep trying stuff? What if I never find what's right? What if everything always feels like this? And then in pink pen. Marijuana seems to help usually. Ultimately, I would like to do something professional with it. I would like to help other people realize the medical benefits it has and how beneficial it can be with certain mental illnesses. It has been super beneficial for me, I know that. Marijuana is a good starting point. I've already planned to open a dispo with my mother and am taking business classes now. So this is a good point to focus on. I need to recenter myself for school and focus on getting the education. Getting the education I need to open the business I want. Good job, me. I'm proud of you. Love you. And then there's a smiley face and a heart. So you know what I mean? That just sounds like I'm writing for somebody else to read it and not just me getting my feelings out about how I feel about things, which I hate that. So, the next entry is from today, and I will also say that I, at one point, referenced the entry before this. The entry before this is, trigger warning, very, I was having a bad period of mental illness where suicidal ideation was very apparent, and it has been very apparent in my life for a long time. And I had written about it in this entry, and it was hard. So I referenced that in one of the first few paragraphs of this next entry. So, September 27th, 2024. I've been thinking about journaling again for a while now. It's interesting to see how similar I feel to years past. Kind of funny to see predictions come true. I was actually considering dumping all my bad feelings here and then burning this book, but I read through the other entries and they're actually pretty tame and normal. Plus, there's lots more blank pages in here, and it would be such a waste to not use them. The last entry is still relevant because I still feel that way. That's actually what made me want to journal. The feelings had gotten so bad and strong again. It is interesting and painful to see how long I've been dealing with these feelings. To be fair, I've been dealing with a lot. My poor brain can't handle a lot, and I'm always really mean to myself when this happens because I feel like I should be able to handle these things. It's okay that I can't, but it doesn't feel like it's okay. I often wish I didn't have to deal with these emotions. Everything is confusing sometimes. I wish I could understand other people better. I wish I generally had a better relationship with people. I feel like it's hard to talk to people. Sometimes it's hard to be around people. But I often loathe being by myself. Don't get me wrong, it's not so bad, and neither am I, but my brain makes it feel horrible. It always has, for as long as I can remember. That's no one's fault, especially not mine. I still work to cope and fix it, and try to be better for other people. I hate to think about living my life for other people. I want to live for me. There's lots of pages of me reassuring myself and trying to use positive reinforcement, but that feels so fake. That's not how I talk to myself in my head. It feels performative, and I don't want to be performing for myself. I can just exist. Existing how I do from moment to moment is okay, normal, natural, and allowed. Sometimes I hate myself, and that's okay too. I'm allowed to feel that way. 27 has been a year so far. I have many feelings about it that I cannot articulate right now. Here's a list of things, maybe in order, I don't know. And then I go to list off a lot of things that have happened to me this year that have been firsts to me that I will not list out loud on here for privacy reasons. Thank you. And then the next page reads, lots of firsts this year, which is kind of crazy. Like I said, I've been going through a lot. I need to be easier on myself. I'm learning. I have some secret hobbies, like this, that I enjoy and allow myself to indulge in often. They do help me feel better and distract myself. Honestly, the weather is horrible today, which might be affecting my mood. There's a hurricane, Helene, moving through, and I feel like it brought me a tropical depression with it. I'm smoking and chilling right now, though. Nothing is ever as bad as my brain makes it feel. Also, love that I'm writing this with a glitter pen. I think that's very cute of me. Love that for me. I'm just covering all the pages in glitter. And then I stop right there. And I think the contrast between the first entry in here and this most recent entry is interesting to me because I don't know why I always feel like I have to perform. Even just for myself, I feel like I have to do things a certain way or else, like, it's wrong, even if I'm just doing it for myself. I feel like it has to be a way that other people can accept it too, or else I can't accept it. And that sucks. Why do you feel like that, girl? That's not normal. You're allowed to have your own feelings about things, and you don't have to always constantly worry about if something's going to get the approval of somebody else. But, I feel like that's something that I'm trying to work through, and I kind of have a hard time admitting it to myself that I'm a people pleaser, and I would rather other people be satisfied, for lack of better words, with what I've said or done than to feel like that's what I really wanted to say or do. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather say something that's going to be accepted or at least not questioned by somebody else than, like, say how I really feel. And, like, that sucks. But that's just how that's just how my brain wants to work. It's been hardwired to feel that way forever because growing up, I didn't feel like I was allowed to not be wrong, but, like, do things a wrong way. And I most certainly was, but in my brain, I didn't feel like I was allowed to. I feel like I had to do everything right the first time, even if somebody was telling me that I didn't have to. If I wasn't doing it the right way the first time, then I wasn't doing it. And that is certainly something that has followed me into my adulthood. And it's something that I need to work a little bit harder to get over because it does impact my life. I need to be able to learn how to do things and allow myself to learn how to do things. And I've gotten better at that over the years. I most certainly have. But it's still hard admitting that that's a problem for me. And that is also part of being a people pleaser, is that, like, I don't want to do things a wrong way and have somebody else get upset at me about it. That sucks. Because then I'm upset at myself about it, like, oh yeah, you fully suck. And I am also the kind of person that just won't do something if I'm either A, afraid of what other people are going to say to me, or B, am afraid that I am not going to do it right and I'm going to look really fucking stupid. Which, like, that happens a lot anyways. I am not right and I look really fucking stupid, but I still do things. So why do I feel like that stops me from doing things the first time? Because I have a brain disorder that has not yet been diagnosed, and I don't know how to live with it. And I have just now gotten to the point where I feel like I want to try to live with it instead of want to not live with it. It's hard to say out loud sometimes, which is also interesting for me to admit. So I think journaling helps me stay grounded with who I am, and also helps me see that, like, okay, you're being way too much performative right now. You need to just be yourself that you're allowed to be. Just chill. Take a chill pill. And perhaps not think about these other things, which, like, that's hard when you have a brain that constantly thinks that you can't turn off. That's why I smoke weed. Sometimes it helps. Like, I normally smoke before I record these because I feel like it helps me talk more and better. Otherwise, I don't really like talking. Sometimes I get in such bad moods that it's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna stop talking right now because otherwise I'm gonna say some things and hurt some feelings and probably hurt my own feelings, and I don't wanna deal with that right now. Normally it's not that I don't want to do those things, because normal regular people have the want to, like, sometimes hurt somebody's feelings as, like, revenge or anything like that. But that's not why I don't want to do it, because I feel like that's morally wrong. I feel like it's normal human nature to want those things. I don't want to do it because I don't want to deal with what happens afterwards. And I feel like that's normal too, but not normally why people choose not to do certain things in general. Like, normally people choose not to do bad things because morally they know it's bad, and that's a good enough option for them, so they just don't do things. But I don't do bad things because I don't want to deal with the fallout of what happens after you do the bad things. And to be fair, there are lots of things that other people consider bad that I feel like are acceptable that probably are not. And I do not want to share them, which is fine. It's nothing. It's just morally wrong because socially I'm a Democrat, which is fucking stupid and I hate it. And I don't want to be anything. I don't want to endorse anybody. I actually don't like any of the candidates running ever. And I want a different option. So thanks for asking. But I do agree with some things conservatively, especially the right to protect yourself amongst those things, and I do feel like we should be allowed to use those rights as we see fit, because that's why we were given them. I feel the same way about free will. We were given free will, so we are allowed to use it, and whatever else we do with that is on us, and then that's between you and your maker and whoever you believe in. Personally, I know that I have free will, but I can also ask for forgiveness for things, and you see what happens when we go on these long tangents. All this just because I wanted to read my journal to you. I don't know. It gets me thinking. I think way too much, but I try hard not to think about myself. And sometimes when I do, I'm like, well, let's analyze this from a psychological point. That way I don't have to think about fixing myself. I can just point out what's wrong. Tee. So thanks for listening. And if you are interested in hearing more of my journal entries, some of them are quite juicy, some of them are boring, I will probably read more in the future, because I feel like it's good to reflect on who you were before to become a different person in the future, if that's what you want. Alright, thanks for hanging out for a while. I'm gonna let you go now and try to finish this painting. Bye!